Okay, so here we are, Las Vegas in the rear view mirror. Truth be told, I'm happy to be out of there. I don't love Las Vegas. Yeah, so I've altered my route slightly. I was gonna go up kind of directly to Idaho, but the highway I was going to take from Las Vegas to Idaho to Boise was a 2-lane highway. Not that you're really interested in this, but there's supposed to be a snowstorm coming, and I didn't really want to be driving on a 2-lane highway through a snowstorm in Idaho. So I'm going through Salt Lake City. So I've driven this road before. As you can see, it's as safe as they get. Although this guy just kind of cut me off here. And it's 26 degrees, and believe it or not, we are an hour from, maybe 2 hours from some pretty good skiing. But you can see what it's like here. It is a desert. So this is what it would have looked like around Las Vegas before they built Las Vegas. A desert. There's no water, there's no trees, there's no irrigation. So look at this trailer in front of us here. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I apologize for this. I can see the camera shaking, as am I. That's not from the Starbucks. That is something to do with my car. It's better since I've kind of put that all my tires have the same amount of air in them. But it's still shaking. But this trailer, this is what I need right here. So this is an Airstream, and these things are wonderful. And I think it's a single axle, which means it's really short, which is what I want. However, we camped next to a family that had one of these about 5 years ago, and we talked all about it, and it was great. But do you have any idea how much this thing costs? Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna pass it here. So is it a single axle? Let me just see here. Yeah, it is. So this is the exact model that this family had that we camped, and we became friends with them. It was funny. We exchanged Christmas cards, and they were wonderful. And they had this identical trailer. Look at how awesome that thing is. Oh. But that costs around, they got theirs on special. I can remember the price. They got theirs on a discount. 58,000 US. So about what's that? About 75,000 Canadian. Yeah. So I'm probably not going to pick one of those up. I'm currently unemployed. Hoping to generate some income with these YouTube videos. See how that goes. Uh-oh, there's the police, and I'm speeding because I just passed that car. Where was I? So, yeah, the trailer I was looking at in Las Vegas, I did not buy it. The guy did not get back to me in time, and I wanted to get on the road. So it was an old van. It was an old Astro van, so like just an old minivan that the guy had cut in half and put a hitch on it. So I thought it was perfect. It was $800. I think I could have slept in there, and it looked really cool. The only problem with it was littered with stickers, and I think some of the stickers were slightly inappropriate, and so it might have made for a challenging border crossing. So yeah, maybe that was for the best that I didn't pick that up. So I don't have a trailer. I did pick up some other things. For better or for worse, I stopped at a Habitat for Humanity restore, which they sell used building materials, because I love restores, and so I did pick up a few things there. I can share those items with you later. But the car is definitely feeling like, it's starting to squeeze in or close in on me a little bit. But I think I can sort it out. So quickly, going back. This is gonna be a long video, I can tell already. Going back to the young man that we just interviewed, the guy that I bought the GoPro. Was his name Mark? I think. How nice was he? I was a little bit suspicious that he wanted to meet me at a gas station. He was 15 years old, and his parents sent him to a gas station to meet a complete stranger. And he said that's fine. He's like, I sell stuff on Kijiji all the time, or Facebook. So anyway, I thought it was interesting that he I liked how he got a chance to talk about history a little bit, that was his favorite class. And I think there's a lesson there that he didn't realize. Here he is talking to a Canadian, we're talking about World War II, and he has no idea that Canada served in the Second World War. We were there long, like, before the United States. I think maybe a year and a half, 2 years before the US arrived. And why I think this is so fascinating is because it's important for you to realize when you study history in Canada or social studies, you're getting a different lesson plan than you would get if you lived in the United States. And you are getting a different curriculum and you're reading different notebooks than if you lived in New Zealand. If you're studying in New Zealand, so, a small country next to Australia, they're not talking about Canada's, victories in World War II. They're talking about New Zealand's victories in World War II, right? And so this is why education is so important, because, it's important in controlling the way that people think, right? So this young man, he's 15 years old. I really wanted to ask him about the Ukraine, but I didn't really want to put him on the spot either, so I passed. He was keen. I could tell he was keen to talk, but it was so loud, and I kind of, I just felt like, I don't know this boy. He's 15 years old, so I just kept it short. But this is, education is, of course, it influences how we think about things. And so right now, if we can just take this conversation back to the Ukraine, right now in the Ukraine, they're educating their people about what's happening, right? There's people, the Russians now are conducting airstrikes. So they are dropping, missiles from aircraft and killing civilians. And they're trying to knock out communication towers. So they are trying to disrupt, the Ukrainians' abilities to speak to each other. Cell phone towers, radio towers, television networks. That's what the Russians, because they don't want people to become educated on what's happening, right? What is Russia doing? Well, Russia has a really strong state media. What does that mean? Or government-controlled media. What does that mean? Well, that means that much of the message that Russians are hearing is coming through the Russian government. So Vladimir Putin, the president, is controlling that message. So that's why we can't, be too hard on, Russian civilians, the Russian population, because they don't know what's going on, right? They don't realize that their government and their military are dropping missiles and dropping bombs on the Ukraine. That message is being kind of distorted. And so this is why the free press and, the idea that anyone can write, news in Canada or in the United States, people can have blogs, people can put their story on YouTube, as I'm doing. Of course, people that own, CNN, what's his name, Ted Rogers? No, who owns CNN? Oh, great. I know this, it will come to me. But of course, he has more control over the message than I would have in the United States, because he controls a massive news network. But this idea that people can contribute to the news and have these conversations. In Russia, that is not the case. The news is often manipulated, much like it is in North Korea, or like it would be in China, right? Donald Trump in the United States tried to ban TikTok. He felt it was, it was misinforming people. It was fake news. And so, where am I going with this? Well, this young man, took a history lesson, learned about World War II, and the word Canada, the country Canada, probably never came up, which, is interesting. So, the Ukraine, boy, things are not going well there. The president is still there. He's still in the Ukraine. The United States has said they will fly him out. He said, I do not want to leave. What I want are firearms. If the states want to help me, send me, tanks, send me artillery, send me machine guns so that we can defend ourselves. And keep in mind, many of these people that are fighting these Ukrainians that are fighting against the Russians are not trained. They are not part of the military. They are simply people that want to protect, Ukraine's sovereignty. And so this is hard to believe, but so Ukrainian government and Ukrainian military agencies are training people how to fight over YouTube in neighborhood community groups, and they're teaching them how to make Molotov cocktails. So what is a Molotov cocktail? Well, that is when you take a glass bottle and you fill it with gasoline, and you put a cloth in the top, and you light that cloth on fire, and then you throw the glass bottle. And this is how the Ukrainians are trying to fend off the Russians, one of the most powerful military armies in the world. And so, okay, just for the record, do not try and make a Molotov cocktail at home, okay? This is very dangerous. I'm not kidding. This is not something. But it just kind of speaks to how desperate the Ukrainians are. So, I mean, I really hope you guys are paying attention to this. Okay, I'm going to stop in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm really on a rant here. I got 400 miles to travel, and so I have time on my hands to think. So what's interesting about the Ukrainian president? Yes, he refuses to leave. Anyone want to guess what he did before he became president? He was a movie star, he was an actor. He was an actor. So this is akin to having, Sean Penn, or who do you guys know? Brad Pitt, become prime minister or become president. So and he says, and what he knows about this is that he's acting this part. He knows, and I think to his credit, he knows that if he stays behind and fights, other people will follow his lead, and he's doing a wonderful job. He's dressing in military garb, so military clothing. He's unshaven. He's living in a bunker, and he's learning to use firearms. Like, it's really unbelievable. And it's neat to think that this is not unusual, where we have, movie stars or actors become prime ministers or presidents. So we think of the United States. I know this is a little bit before your time, but Ronald Reagan, what did he do before he was president? He was an actor. He was a Hollywood star. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you guys probably know Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was in Terminator. He became governor of Ontario, so this is equivalent to the Caroline Cochrane of the Northwest Territories, but it was of California, so, a massive, powerful state in the United States. Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor. Who else? Canada. What did Justin Trudeau do before he became prime minister? Before he became a politician? Anyone want to guess what he did? He was a drama teacher. So, what's her name? Oh, great. Miss Smith at St. Pat's? Oh, I hope I got that right. I know her first name, but I don't know. So Miss Smith, he was a drama teacher, and now he is the Prime Minister of Canada. So he taught drama at a private school in Vancouver. So anyway, I know that was kind of a disjointed rant, and it was quite long, 13 minutes. I promised myself these would be under 10 minutes. Oh well. Okay, I'll let you go. Talk to you guys soon. Pray for the Ukraine. Send them positive thoughts, and I don't know, maybe spare change. I don't know how we can help these people. They're in a really tough spot. Okay, take care.